What is up, people, and welcome back to part 45 of my F1 2016 career mode here at the Chinese Grand Prix. If you've missed Season 1, Season 2, and the first two rounds of this third season, then you can go click the little card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens to go catch up with everything that's happened over this career mode so far. We're here at the Chinese Grand Prix, a track which we won at last season in the Renault. We also had a very decent result in Season 1 as well, but we're in a different car, a car that isn't very good with downforce, so this track could be quite difficult for us, but it has that very long straight which we should be able to make loads of overtakes on because the drag on our car is fully maxed out, so we should have a good chance of getting a lot of overtakes down that straight. Before we get into today's race though, Chris has a little bit of news for us, so let's head over to him.
Hey, our upgrade pace is looking solid right now, but I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive. Here's the report.
So it looks like some of the other teams have done a few upgrades going into today's race weekend. Red Bull Racing are just a little bit further ahead of us, whereas Williams have managed to close up the gap just a bit after doing a couple of upgrades at today's race weekend. Renault also upgrading their car, so my former team upgrading their fuel consumption. Williams are upgrading their car 3 times, drag, downforce, and chassis weight, so that is why they've managed to get on us so much. They're above Haas now, but they still have not overtaken us. We are still ahead of them, and we are still just behind Red Bull Racing. We should be able to upgrade the downforce on our car after today's race weekend, so that will hopefully put us above Red Bull Racing in the performance comparison. But let's see what these updates have effect on the field as we head over to practice. Here we are then in today's practice session at the Chinese Grand Prix, trying to get as many resource points as we possibly can so we can upgrade our car even further, because we haven't actually made any upgrades on this Force India so far this season. But we went out, we did the track acclimatization, got purple score on that, which was absolutely fantastic as Jolyon Palmer in our former Renault goes and overtakes us very easy. Then we did the tyre wear management. We also got a purple score on that one, which once again is absolutely fantastic. More resource points for us to spend over the course of this race weekend, but unfortunately we could not do the qualifying one. As you can see, we did have a try on those super soft tyres. Only lap time was only good enough for a 1:37.7, so that was just not good enough to get any resource points in the qualifying objective. We were down in 19th position, so that doesn't exactly set us up very well for the rest of the weekend, but we know that we aren't very good in terms of one lap pace, so we know that we are better in terms of race pace. So yeah, hopefully we can do a lot better there. But without any further ado, let's see how we get on in the qualifying sessions. It's time for qualifying here at the Chinese Grand Prix, and can we carry on our streak of very good qualifying sessions? Australia, we managed to get into Q2, 15th position, and then Bahrain, we managed to get into Q3 and in P7. We'll be hoping to do the same sort of thing here today, but we know that our one lap pace around China is not that good, so maybe we can get up there, but I'm not too sure. I think we will get into Q2, but whereabouts we position in that session, I'm not too sure. I doubt I'll get into Q3, but for now, let's head out on track, get through Q1, get into Q2, and see how we do in this qualifying session. Here we are then, first lap in Q1, coming around the final corner, DRS open, down towards the line. The time is good enough for a 1:36.893. It's not good enough at the moment to be above 20th position, so right down at the back of the field. We're only beating Marcus Ericsson and I think the other Sauber. But once again, second lap in this qualifying session. What is the time good enough for? It is an improvement, but it's only good enough for 20th position in Q1. We are knocked out of the qualifying early stages. Really disappointing result for us. Nico Hulkenberg getting through in P10. But there we are, right down at the back of the field. 20th position, just behind the Williams of Felipe Massa, who was on the soft tyres, making a stupid decision. Jenson Button also down there in 17th place. So a very disappointing qualifying session for us. And it's really frustrating after getting a good result in Australia. An even better result in Bahrain, and now 20th position in China. Really frustrating, but we will be able to push on from there, make loads of overtakes in the race, especially down that long straight, because we don't have a lot of drag on our car, and hopefully get back up into about P12 or something like that. If we can get P12 in this race, that'd be a really decent result for us. So let's see how we do as we head over to the race for the Chinese Grand Prix. It's race day here at the Shanghai International Circuit for today's Chinese Grand Prix, and what an exciting race we have on our hands here today. Starting down in 20th position, a little bit disappointing compared to the recent results that we have had in our qualifying sessions. 15th in Australia, 7th in Bahrain, and now a 20th position here in China. So it's going to be a very difficult race for us here today, but hopefully we can come back from it and possibly get in the low points positions. Looking at the Drivers' Championship, going into today's race, Kevin Magnussen currently leads the way with 35 points, with Carlos Sainz 5 points behind him, and Danny Kvyat currently in third. Looking at the Constructors, Toro Rosso lead the way, 55 points, Renault in second with 45, and Ferrari down in third on 31 points. So the championship is definitely between Renault and Toro Rosso at the moment, but if there's some upgrades down the field, then we could certainly see more teams get involved in that battle. Danny Kvyat starting down in 7th position here today, so a disappointing qualifying session for him as well. We start down in 20th place, so yeah, not the best of results, but hopefully we can push on from there. Go loads of overtakes in today's race, use the less drag on our car down that main straight, and try and get loads of overtakes down there and possibly get into around 12th or higher. Look at the race strategy for today's race. Because we didn't run in Q3, we can now start on whichever tyre that we desire. So we're going to start on the soft tyres at the start, go for another set of softs in the middle, and then go for the mediums till the end. So I think that's a really good strategy, and hopefully we miss out a pit stop as well, because I think the front runners are going to go super softs, softs, mediums, mediums, or softs, softs, mediums. So I'm not too sure how they're going to do that, but hopefully we can get the position on those guys as we get underway for today's formation lap. Just making sure that we warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes, and make sure that we are at the optimal temperature for the start of the race as we work our way round back to the starting grid. Here we are then on the starting grid for today's Chinese Grand Prix. The lights are coming on. It's 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. And it's a great start compared to the guys ahead of us. One of the best starts that we have had all season, all throughout my whole entire career mode as well. Going down in towards turn 1, right behind Pascal Wehrlein and Jenson Button. Momentarily going side by side with Rio Haryanto, and now going side by side with Esteban Gutierrez down in towards turn 1. In towards turn 2 now, right behind our teammate of Nico Hülkenberg. A great start to put ourselves up into P14 right now, right behind the Red Bull driver of Max Verstappen, possibly going for the overtake down in towards this next hairpin, which we do. Under braking as well, we get the job done on Nico Hülkenberg, who actually goes into the side of us as we just sneak up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, and straight away, within one sector, we are within the points positions of this race. A great start for us in this Force India, and puts ourselves right behind Fernando Alonso, who is currently in 9th. He is actually behind us in the performance chart. He is on the Superstar tyres though, so it is going to be a bit of a battle as we go side by side through the double left-hander, but better drive through the corner, still side by side as we run down in towards this long left-hander, in towards the long right-hander, and there we go, up into P9 in this race, right behind Jolyon Palmer and the rest of the front runners. Getting past those guys is going to be very, very difficult because they are so much faster than us. You've got the likes of the Renault, the Mercedes, the Toro Rossos, and the Ferraris in there as well. So it's going to be difficult to get past those guys. It looks like there's a big battle behind us, possibly going 4 wide down into the chicane. I think they are going to go 4 wide. A Haas, a Manor, a McLaren, and a Red Bull all going 4 wide down into the hairpin. Is there going to be a collision through this? No. They all managed to get through cleanly somehow, and that is absolutely amazing between all those drivers. Looks like the Red Bull of Daniel Ricciardo gets through out on top ahead of Fernando Alonso to move up into 10th position. Watching on board with Jolyon Palmer, getting past the Toro Rosso and the Ferrari, going down in towards turn 1. Side by side at the moment, as it looks like Jolyon Palmer's tyres changed. No, they've also got a puncher. Jolyon Palmer has got a left front puncher in this race, carrying on the situation that we've had all season, where a driver has got a puncher in every single race on the second lap, which is a really, really strange coincidence has happened in this race. Maybe it's a glitch or something like that, but is there going to be a collision like we saw in Australia with Lewis Hamilton? There's a little bit of contact there between, I think that's Max Verstappen and Jolyon Palmer, but everyone else looking like they're getting through okay. Jenson Button stuck behind him for the time being. And will he be able to get past him very, very easy? Going very slowly at the moment. He goes into the back of him momentarily, and looks like he gets attacked from a Manor and then a Sauber of Felipe Nasr, but nobody going off the track. Just a little bit of front wing damage to a few drivers, and it looks like Jolyon Palmer is still going to be running in this race, but right down the back of the field, losing out so many positions. Looks like Danny Kvyat has now come into the pits. A couple of other drivers coming into the pits as well, and that puts us up into P4 in this race. Rosberg and the likes of Kevin Magnussen and that have got a long way uphill in front of us. Kevin Magnussen comes into the pits on lap 4. Looks like Nico Rosberg and Carlos Sainz are into the pits as well. So that means that we are also going to be leading today's Chinese Grand Prix. We have led one lap of every single race so far this season. We haven't yet won a race. Maybe today will be the first time that happens as we come into the pits for a new set of soft tyres. Just getting the pit lane entry perfect there, but can we brake before the line? Yes, we can. A long time before the line. Looks like Valtteri Bottas also is coming in behind us as well. A Haas driver deciding not to pit. I'm not too sure whereabouts this is going to put us in terms of the standing orders, but hopefully we aren't too far down the field. It looks like it's a good stop there from the Force India team and from the Williams team as well, as Valtteri Bottas is very close behind us. But I think once we get the jump away, he might get out in front of in some traffic. We're right behind a manor of, I believe, Rio Haryanto. Not too sure where Valtteri Bottas joined, whether he's in traffic or not, but currently down in P11 or P12, I believe, in this race on lap 9, which is a really good result. Cutting ahead a couple of corners. We are in P12 at the moment, right behind Rio Haryanto, who is currently running in P11. And can we get the overtake on him within the next couple of corners? Oh, we go into the back of Rio Haryanto. They're going a lot slower than we first initiated, going down in towards the double left-hander. Not quite doing the move that we did on Fernando Alonso. I think we were having a think about it, but unfortunately not going for that move there. In towards this left-hander now. Still right on the tail of Rio Haryanto. Setting ourselves up perfectly to go for an overtake down this very long straight. Just literally holding it out on the long right hander, right behind Rio Haryanto, going down in towards the DRS zone. It's a very easy move there on the Manor driver, down in towards the hairpin, and there we go. Job done on the Manor driver into hairpin. No, we run it wide. That allows Rio Haryanto just to have a little look up the inside, but unfortunately greater drive out to that corner and better tyres mean that we get the position done on Rio Haryanto, who I believe is coming to the pits, and yes, he is. Rio Haryanto into the pits on lap 9 and going down in towards turn 1. We need to make sure that we get out ahead of Max Verstappen, which we do, and there we go, out in P6 at the moment, just behind Sebastian Vettel and the rest of the leaders, who I believe will have one more stop in this race. So here we are, cutting ahead to lap 15, right behind Kevin Magnussen, currently battling for second position in this race after a few guys have come into the pits. So right behind Kevin Magnussen, going through this long right-hander, getting it on the curb there on the outside. That's going to lose us a little bit of time there to the Renault driver, but we should be within the slipstream, should still have the DRS on him going down to hairpin. We know this Renault is very quick because obviously we did so many upgrades on it over Season 1 and Season 2. So we're just about going to get him just before we get into the hairpin, side by side with Kevin Magnussen. He tries a bit of a cutback move as we run it a little bit too deep into the corner. Still side by side. Yellow flags are out. We're not getting an illegal overtake. Kimi Räikkönen is out of today's Chinese Grand Prix. He was actually leading the race, and there he is going into the pit lane. There was a lot of smoke. He spawns in the middle of the track, and there could have been a huge collision there had I not been aware of Kimi Räikkönen coming into the track. And there we go, into the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. It looks like Nico Hülkenberg is having a bit of a battle with Rio Haryanto, or is that Pascal Wehrlein at the moment? It's Pascal Wehrlein having a little bit of a battle into the end of lap 15. Starting lap 16, should be able to see Kimi Räikkönen's car on the starting grid. There he is, stuck on the line. Nico Hülkenberg, my teammate, is out of the Chinese Grand Prix as well. He's also had an engine failure as he cuts across in front of Pascal Wehrlein, getting very close between the two of them. Luckily for Pascal Wehrlein, he is not out of today's race. No contact between the two of them. But Nico Hülkenberg, my teammate, is having his second DNF within 3 races. Really disappointing for him, and that is 0 points scored once again. But we cut ahead to the end of lap 16, coming into pits with Kevin Magnussen right behind us as well. We're going to go on to a new set of medium tyres, whereas Kevin Magnussen, I think, is going to go for another set of mediums, try and take those to the end of the race, or go to a set of soft tyres. I'm not too sure at the moment. I think he is going to go for another set of mediums and try and do a 2-stopper like we are. So we're definitely within a battle with Kevin Magnussen. No, we're not. He actually had front wing damage, so he is getting a new front wing at the moment. That's going to hold him up so much and lose so much time in this race. Look, he's only just getting away now. He's already been jumped by the Haas driver, and here we are exiting the pits on lap 17, but we need to push on this outlap to make sure that we get ahead with the guy that we are battling with in the 2-stopper, which is Kevin Magnussen. So we need to make sure that we get out ahead of him in this race. He's in the pits at the moment. A couple of other guys in the pits, currently in P7, but we should go up in positions into P4 now at the moment. Can we get P3? There is Max Verstappen going down in towards turn 1 and just about sweeping in front of the Red Bull driver, getting the provisional P1 of this race. And this Carlos Sainz has had a very good stint on those medium tyres, but a fantastic outlap there to get in front of Max Verstappen and into what should be the lead of the race. Jolyon Palmer on board with at the moment on lap 18. He's so far away from everybody else in this race. It's a really, really frustrating race for him after having that punch at the start, and he has had an engine failure as well. He is also at today's race, but it's not really going to affect too much as he was so far down at the back of the field. So I'm probably guessing that it's probably a blessing to Jolyon Palmer to be out of today's race. I don't think he was going to get anything at all. But here we are on board with Max Verstappen on lap 20, right to my tail, moving over to the left-hand side, getting the job done before he has even got to the DRS zone. But we're going to tuck back into the slipstream. We're very, very quick in a straight line. So going up the inside, down in towards the hairpin, side by side with Max Verstappen into the hairpin, squeezing him out as much as we possibly dare. Max Verstappen has to yield position, and there we go, still in second place in this Chinese Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Carlos Sainz had a very, very good in-lap on those medium tyres, and unfortunately he is out in front of us and has driven away with the lead. But here we are, cutting ahead to lap 23. Max Verstappen having another go down in towards the hairpin. We know we are very, very good under braking compared to the AI, so we're holding it up the inside. We've got the inside line, which is exactly what we need right now. Squeezing him out once again on the exits. There we go, back up into second place, going down into the final corner. Max Verstappen not giving up on that position though. He wants second place. He wants the chance to hunt down the Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz, following in the slipstream, going down in towards turn 1. He's going to try it around the outside into the 360-degree corner. Can we hold it on the inside line though? We're going to try it, just hugging the inside line side by side with Max Verstappen. And there we go, back up into second place in this Chinese Grand Prix. And that's a great drive at the moment in this race, cutting head to the end of lap 24 now. Max Verstappen still very much on our tail, going down in towards this long DRS straight. Max Verstappen will be able to get the job done on us momentarily down in towards the start, down towards the hairpin. But it's still side by side at the moment. Under braking, we know we are good, so we should be able to get him back under braking against the Red Bull driver, which we do, side by side into the hairpin, squeezing him out as much as we possibly can, but it's still pretty much side by side down in towards this left hand. I think Max Verstappen is just going to tuck up behind us, try and get the DRS down in towards turn 1, and once again try and swoop around the outside, because we're definitely going to hold that inside line because we know it works around this circuit. Max Verstappen going around the outside once again, side by side in towards turn 1. He's got the job done momentarily, but we get a better drive holding the inside line on the Red Bull driver, and once again, there we go, holding the inside. It definitely works, and we are back up into second place with only 3 laps left to go in this Chinese Grand Prix. Can we hold on to this position as we cut ahead to the end of lap 25? Max Verstappen, right to my tail, diving up the inside in towards this corner. If he holds position, we will get DRS on him, which I don't think he does. No, we sneak up inside him, and there we go, getting the DRS once. He will get the DRS on us down this next straight, so we do need to be aware of that. Max Verstappen is going to be very, very quick down this straight. But we also need to be aware of the Renault of Kevin Magnussen. We know this Renault is very, very quick in a straight line, going down into the hairpin. Just look how fast that Renault is now, following in the slipstream once again, under braking. It's 3 wide, down into the hairpin. We lock up. Kevin Magnussen performs the cutback move on us. He's got the job done on us for the time being, but a great drive out of the corner from us. It's side by side into the final corner of lap 25. We tuck up behind him. We're going to get the DRS down in towards turn 1. Now we are going to have to try it around the outside. We know that it doesn't work after we've seen of Max Verstappen around the outside into turn 1. No, it doesn't. But now we're going to tuck back, get the inside line in turn 1. It's going to be side by side into this next corner. It's still side by side with Kevin Magnussen through the left-hander off turn 2. Still side by side. Kevin Magnussen is not giving up on P2, but neither are we. Down in towards the end of sector 1, in towards turn 3 and turn 4. Who is going to come out on top between me and Max Verstappen? It's still side by side through all those segmental corners in towards turn 4. And there we go, finally just squeezing out Max Verstappen, getting the job done, getting the position on him. And we are still in P2, but just look at the train of cars that is gathering behind us at the moment. Here we are then on lap 27 of this Chinese Grand Prix. 1.5 laps left to go in this race. Max Verstappen right on our, not Max Verstappen, Kevin Magnussen right on our tail going down the straight. Just look how quick he is in that Renault. Just look at all the upgrades that I made. It's definitely affecting me so much now as we are literally a sitting duck down this straight. But we're following in the slipstream, getting the job back on Kevin Magnussen up the inside into the hairpin. Can we hold it up the inside? Yes, we can. Squeezing him out like we did to Max Verstappen so many times over the previous laps. Going down in towards the final corner. We know that K-Mag is definitely going to have a run on us down in towards turn 1, following the slipstream, using the DRS as well. Just look how quick he is in a straight line, going round the outside in towards turn 1. And there is K-Mag round the outside, still side by side in towards turn 1. Can we hold it up the inside? I'm not too sure. Yes, we can. There we go. Holding position, holding P2 in this race. But Kevin Magnussen will have one more chance to get that second place away from us. We've done so well in this race. Tyre wear is fine. We don't need to worry about that. Nor do we need to worry about fuel at this stage as well. So running in rich mix, we're running on optimal tyres at the moment. Our tyre wear is not too bad, and we should be able to defend this position. But if K-Mag can get a sneaky move somewhere along the track and we lose the gap to him down the straight, then he would definitely get position away from us. We just need to make sure that we hit every single apex on this lap. Going through the double left-hander at the moment, clipping apexes there. Absolutely perfect so far. Kevin Magnussen not finding any way to get past us. Down towards the left-hander where Max Verstappen tried a little move. Kevin Magnussen deciding not to do that, but he is right on our tail as we go through the very long right-hander. Kevin Magnussen seizing up an opportunity to go for the overtake down in towards the hairpin, following the slipstream. Just look how quick it is. The rain is coming down, and in this Chinese Grand Prix, it's not going to affect the track though. It's not enough. Carlos Sainz is today's race winner, so well done to him. That means it's 3 race winners in 3 races, so very, very excited. It's 3 wide down to the hairpin at the moment with Kevin Magnussen and Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen loses out. I think he loses a bit of his front wing as well. Still side by side with K-Mag, but I think that we have got the job done, starting from down in 20th position on the grid. I thought I could only really get 12th in this race, but it's P2. It's a fantastic result for us in this Chinese Grand Prix. What a race here today at the Chinese Grand Prix. Starting down in 20th position to get second place is a really, really fantastic result for us here today. Carlos Sainz wins today's race, which makes it 3 race winners in 3 races. Can we make it 4 in Russia? We're just going to have to wait and see for that one. But going through the rest of the standings, we're in second. Kevin Magnussen rounds out the podium to keep up with Carlos Sainz in the battle for the championship. Max Verstappen is in 4th with Danny Kvyat in 5th. Nico Rosberg finishes in 6th with Lewis Hamilton down in 7th. Roman Grosjean in 8th. Fernando Alonso with a good result in 9th. And Felipe Massa makes his way from 19th on the grid to get 1 championship point. Looking further down the field, and there's our 3 DNFs. All had engine failures. Jolyon Palmer, Nico Hülkenberg and Kimi Räikkönen as he came into the pit lane. Felipe Nasr, the only driver who was 1 lap down, I guess because he got that front wing damage from going into the back of Jolyon Palmer early on. He made 4 pit stops in this race. So did Sebastian Vettel, and that's why Sebastian Vettel did not get any points in today's race. And so did Daniel Ricciardo. So that's probably why he did not get any points in today's race either. Let's have a look at how this affects us in the driver's standings though. And in the driver's standings, we are in 4th position. So a really, really good result for us so far in this season. We are only 3 races in, and there are 18 races left to go. So still a long way left to go in this championship. And Carlos Sainz, he leads the way now. He's overtaken Kevin Magnussen for the lead of the championship. 5 points separate those 2 guys, and Danny Kvyat is not too far behind either. So it's definitely going to be a battle between those 3 for the championship right now. Jolyon Palmer doing absolutely nothing, only on 10 points for the season, so he's really, really disappointing Renault right now. Let's have a look at how this affects us in the constructors standings though. And in the constructors standings, Force India move up into 4th position, so a really, really good result for us. 4 points behind Mercedes, so it looks like we're currently in a battle with Mercedes, Ferrari, and I expect Red Bull to be up there very, very soon, you know, if they keep on with the upgrades. And if they can get rid of that bad luck, then I definitely expect them to be within a battle with us. Look at Toro Rosso and Renault at the moment. 30 points separate them. So looks like with Jolyon Palmer not doing a good job at the moment, that's really affecting Renault in the constructors standings. And I think they probably want me back to drive alongside Kevin Magnussen. But that is it for today's Chinese Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. Looking at the rivalry update for today's race, unfortunately, I think Kimi Räikkönen has beaten. He did not finish in today's race, but he did get a penalty-free weekend. He also got the fastest sector too, which is a bit surprising, seeing as he only made it to the first pit stop phase. But Kimi Räikkönen is today's rivalry winner, so really, really disappointing there. But we have 1,104 resource points to spend, and that is the main thing to talk about after today's race. And I think we're just going to spend that on a downforce. There's only really one thing to spend it on. We could spend it on chassis weight. I'm not really going to spend it on fuel efficiency because that's not going to affect us too much. So it's really between chassis weight and downforce. But at the end of the day, that is where we're lacking. Downforce, definitely. So we're going to upgrade that to 3 out of 5. And hopefully that will help us as we go on through the rest of the races. But that is it for today's Chinese Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed the episode, don't forget to smash that like button. Also, subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. We're going to have this Crim coming to you about 3 times a week, maybe more if I can actually get into the rhythm of making them regularly. But I will see you next time for the Russian Grand Prix. Until then, though, it's goodbye from me.